We're here today at New Street Station, Birmingham. With around 45 million passengers a year, it's the UK's fifth busiest station. But in the best traditions of YouTube, we're not here to see any of that. Instead, we're taking a look at the random railways of Birmingham. Just outside New Street Station is this somewhat Marmite piece of architecture, New Street Signal Box. This 5-storey brutalist structure was built in 1964 and there's no other signal box in the UK like it. Both it and the wall outside are Grade 2 listed. With the Birmingham re-signalling project underway, Network Rail have just started decommissioning systems in the box and it will become redundant within the next year, when all the operations move to the West Midlands Signalling Centre in Saltley, next to the Washwood Heath Depot. Its future for the moment is uncertain. A 5-minute walk in the other direction is another Grade 2 listed railway structure, the delightful Moore Street Station. Home to West Midlands and Chiltern Railway services as well as vintage trains excursions, but you can also see Avanti Pendolinos here. On platform 1 there is a door with a small window. It is locked as it leads to the running lines leading into the Stour and Derby tunnels. If you wait here a few minutes, you will see Avanti and cross-country services heading in and out of New Street. A quick stroll eastwards brings us to Liverpool Street and the Duddeston Viaduct. This 1100-yard long structure was built by the GWR to Brunel's design in 1846 but never completed due to disputes among the competing railway companies involved in Birmingham city centre. It spans the streets and canals in Digbeth and has been discussions regarding turning it into a sky park similar to New York's High Line, but nothing has been decided. For a detailed history of the viaduct, see the Warwickshire Railways website link in the description below. Moving south, we're now on the Worcester and Birmingham Canal, where a large railway bridge runs over the canal and the cross-city lines to Redditch. This bridge is now disused, but it's part of what was once one of the largest industrial railway networks in Birmingham, the Bourneville Works Railway. Cadbury's opened their factory here in 1879. At first, goods were moved around by horse and cart, then in 1884 the Works Railway was developed. This bridge was built in 1925 to serve an extensive wharf and goods shed complex known as Waterside. At its peak in the 1920s, the works contained 6 miles of track and a 3-road engine shed housing 6 locos. As with most other industries in the 1950s and 60s, saw a movement away from the canal and rail transport to road haulage, and the Works Railway was finally closed in 1976. Today, 2 of the locos survive, Cadbury No. 1 and 1925 Avonside, which hauled the first passenger services on the Gloucestershire-Warwickshire Railway in the 1980s, but is now stored at Tyseley awaiting overhaul. And Cadbury No. 14 is a 1957 Hudswell-Clark diesel shunter, which is on static display at Cadbury World. One stop south of Bourneville Station is Kings Norton. From there, a 10-minute walk up the hill is St Nicholas's Church. You may be asking why this church is in the railway film. Well, in 1943, this is where this rather famous little loco sprang to life. The Reverend Wilbur Audrey was curate at St Nicholas's from 1940 to 1946 and came up with the idea of Thomas to amuse his son Christopher during a bout of measles. It started as a model, then developed into the first book, The 3 Railway Engines, which was published in 1945. Moving further south, another unlikely railway-related building is this restaurant in Rednall, off the Lickey Road. Walking around the back, you will find a clue to its former life lurking by the bins. These tracks are one of the few surviving remnants of Birmingham's extensive tram network, which was the 4th largest tram network in the UK. It reached 80 route miles and had up to 825 trams in service at once. The building now housing the restaurant was once the Rednall tram terminus, where passengers used to alight to walk in the nearby Lickey Hills. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this brief look at some of the random railways around Birmingham. Please like and subscribe for more random railways.